Apologies, guys. Sorry, I am. My phone actually went off, and thankfully, I'm in the office, so I just went on to grab my co-founder's phone. Apologies for that. Um, Thanks to those who have joined back. I am going to bring back Young Billy right away online, and we can get this conversation going. Just right before the phone went off the other time, I was just telling Young Billy about naysayers, someone who can plan their own webinar comes online and says something like, "Oh, what? Don't let them lie to you. Poland doesn't give people visa." I mean, think about it. We're just about to have a 1 hour chat with someone who um, joined our migration group about a year ago, started working on his move to Poland by himself, was able to fill all his forms, did everything, got several admission, and eventually landed in Poland. And then somebody who is a naysayer comes on. I'm used to that. I'm so used to that, and I won't even waste any time on that person. I already, blocked him right away. So I'm going to invite and bring back Young Billy. I just sent you an invite. Young Billy, can you say it? Just join us back. And thanks to all of you who have joined today. On this journey to moving abroad, you will always see naysayers. People will tell you, why are you going? People will tell you you're not patriotic enough. People will tell you, oh, they will cheat you. Oh, they will do this or they will do that. And why we have created this particular platform, Vesti, is to be able to remove the effect of those naysayers from your life so you can take action in the direction of where you're going to, so that you can make a decision that works for you, so that you can do all that needs to be done for you to eventually be able to succeed as somebody who desires to go global. For some reason, I think Young Billy cannot join at this time. Young Billy, can you do one thing for me? Turn on your Wi-Fi and turn it on again, and just make sure that you're connected. And then we're going to bring you back. I've tried to invite you a number of times, and I'm going to keep trying. A lot of people who have, made efforts, who joined our community, who started learning how to move abroad, who started taking advantage of the learning, of the encouragement, of the support, of the general principles, like just maybe how to work on your, statement of purpose if you're going via education, how to get access to the right schools, how to get access to scholarships, how to get access, how to make payments for your down payments, and so on and so forth. People have taken advantage of all of this knowledge, and they've gone on to do amazing for themselves. So we have someone on the live today who basically has moved himself to Poland, and as I said earlier jokingly, is someone who is almost going to be a Polishman over the next couple of years. He's going to be a Polishman. He has gone there via education, and he wants to be able to share the same knowledge with other people. So I'm going to attempt to add him one more time, and I hope that this time around it works just fine, and he's able to join. He was able to join earlier before we had that interruption that we had. Okay, so fantastic. Welcome back. So, did you see,
Thank you
what
very
happened?
much.
You saw what happened? I blocked that guy immediately. That's exactly what everybody should do. The moment you see naysayers, the moment you see people who don't care about your knowledge, about your learning, about your journey, just take them out. No room for negativity. We're going into 2022 now, and everybody just has to be super, super positive. So, thanks to all of you who have joined us. Please help us share this live all around. Let people, anyone who wants to move abroad via education, who wants to move around via work permits, who wants to move abroad via, any form of residency program that has been created all over the world, please call them, come one, come all, to come and learn about this. So, Young Billy, how are you doing today? How's it going?
Very well, thank you.
What
Appreciate
time?
you.
What time is it
Appreciate.
over there?
At the moment, it's 8:09
Interesting.
CET,
CET. Okay, so it's
zero
not too bad.
daylight savings.
Yeah, it's almost like same time zone with Nigeria, isn't it?
Of course, yes, it is.
That's
Because
interesting. That's super
yes,
interesting. Yeah. Um,
basically it's 2 hours ahead of Nigeria,
okay.
but daylight savings at the moment, So
Got it. Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it.
of
Awesome.
course.
So welcome. So tell
Mhm.
us, first of all, I have a few questions. So this is a chat. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and all
Okay,
of that. And I'm going to start with the
no
fact that,
problem.
listen, I told my co-founder the other day, I said, there's this guy I call Young Billy, he's in Poland. Like, you see, the moment he landed like this, it's not like all those people that will land and go and hide. I'm saying because they're going to school, that Young Billy is chilling on the streets of Poland, man. You know what I'm saying? What's your city called, by the way?
It's Poznan.
Portland?
Poznan, Poznan.
Poznan. I see. Poznan.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And how is it there? Like compared to Lagos and everything? Tell me about a few things about that city. How does it work? I've never been in Poland, so I don't know.
Definitely, you'll be here. You pushed me down here, so you will be here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was
Hello?
cracking a little. I think it's better now.
Okay. Um, Poland, it's a very beautiful place. Poznan, to be precise, is a very beautiful. No, we shouldn't compare Poznan with Lagos. Let's leave Lagos there, and this is Poznan. Let's leave. I'll start with the naysayer. Um, One out of how many body gets invitation or visa. If you meet the Polish requirements, you will be issued visa.
Awesome.
There's
That's
no
it.
two way about it.
You meet the requirement. So the fact that 30 people
You'll
went
be
and
issued.
you give them doesn't mean that, you know, I mean, come on.
Do you bring the genuine documents? They should ask themselves. We hardly do that.
Hmm,
So, what I got to understand about these people is meet their requirements.
that's right.
Cross your T's, dot your I's. You will get it.
That's right. So let's
So,
backtrack a little. Thanks for saying that. So that at
okay.
least those who have joined, but let's backtrack a little. Why Poland?
Yeah.
How did you decide that it was Poland you wanted to go? And did you try any other countries before you finally decided that okay, you wanted to go through the education route to Europe and then Poland was going to be the country?
Yes, you know the story. So let's give our people. It started 2016 when we wanted to move to United States. Uh, as a Nigerian, as a young Nigerian, you will always want to try the non-immigrant visa. Then wriggle your way in and do all sort of things like we always do. But unfortunately, United States gave me a U-turn, go back. They gave me U-turn 3 good times. And that was when I was fortunate to meet you. And I was like, okay, all hope is not lost. We can still do this. Then we started with Canadian. You remember we started with Canadian PR.
Yes.
Then things were dragging and all that. They required IELTS. I keep dragging 6.57, 6.57, and all that. And something just came to my mind. I was like, why Canada? Why we have several other countries around the world. Why not try explore? And I started with Europe. I can't remember, is it God's will? I think God's will, you sent someone, I can't remember his name. He said, try Europe. And the next thing was I started exploring. And for your information, all our listeners tonight, you will have to, if you want to move out of Nigeria, you must have sleepless nights. If your dreams aren't scarier, please, you're not ready. So we started exploring Europe. I chose Poland because the low standard of living. Somebody from a poor background, there's no money to blow around.
Go around.
So I I was looking for a budget that suits my pocket, And remember we got for University of East London. I got admission there. University of Nottingham. University of Manchester, University of Hull, all these I had admissions.
Listening now, are you guys following this? This gentleman, because he wanted to go to Europe, decided he's told you will have sleepless nights just like him, and he has not talked about an agent in all of this. So he has gone on to apply to all of these universities. List them again. All East London.
Hull, East London, University of Nottingham, University of Manchester, Coventry University, University of Newcastle, Glasgow Caledonian in Scotland, and two more.
These are all schools you applied to, and you got admission in many of them.
Of course, I got admission in all except Glasgow Caledonian.
Admission in all of those schools, and he had to do an evaluation of which one works better for me based on my financial status, what I have, and how can I get started. Go on.
Very well. And I settled for University of Hull. So when the tuition came, I was asked to pay £2,000. I checked my pocket. I think I had about 1,000 thereabout. So I was like, I'm not ready for hall. Hall is not calling. That was when you remember when we did Sweden, looking
Yes.
for the Swedish Institute scholarship.
Yes.
The admission came, but I was unfortunate. I didn't get the Swedish Institute scholarship, and I had to pay. Is it around 2 million naira for the part payment? I think it's around 10 million naira for all the 2 years master's program. And I was like, no, I can't afford this. Can't afford this. So we started Lithuania. Lithuania gave me admission. See, you have to be resilient, please.
That's right.
If it is what you wanted, you have to go for it.
King
I
David Mark
practice.
is asking that didn't you pay for application fee? How come you applied to all of those schools?
You have to pay for. If it's absolutely what you want, you have to do
It's
it.
what you want. You have to pay for it. That's right.
Yes, you just we all know Swedish scholarship is 900 SEK Swedish krona. Um, Czech Republic they have is it 500 Czech krona for each application. Not even for each course. You have to pay an application fee for each course. You understand? And all these came out. All the applications, I mean, all the admissions came out. And I had to sit down. I was checking my email. I had to write them out. So this is tuition. Tuition is this tuition, and I had to look into my pocket and I have to see which I can afford.
You have to make an analysis. You drew a table. So first of all, you
Of course,
shortlisted the schools, you applied to them,
yes,
you paid for those admissions, you got offer of admission, then you tabulated
yes,
it and said, okay, this is the school, this is the amount, this is the school, this is the amount, this is
yes,
the amount, and then you then started making decisions.
yes, yes. I never knew I would settle for Poland. Anyways, I was actually chasing after the Czech Republic because their tuition was around 80,000 naira there, but I think 50,000 or 5,000 Czech krona then. So I wanted to pay for my tuition, and that was when Polish admissions came out. In fact, it came out twice.
Mm.
It came out twice, and I was like, this is also affordable. Then I had to juxtapose Poland and Czech Republic. Which will I prefer?
Which will I prefer?
Then a friend of mine was she's in Czech Republic. She started giving me all these this same news. The Czech Republic visa, the Czech visa is hard, is this, is that. I gullibly followed. I did not even check their requirements. I gullibly followed and I said, no, I won't go for that. I'm looking for something better and cheaper. Then I settled. Then I think what made me choose Poland was the scholarship.
The scholarship.
And yes. And
So
let me
you were
quickly
not
chip this in.
you were not only looking, and I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, but I always want people to be able to follow through with it. So you weren't only looking for the one with cheaper school fees, you were also looking for the ones that had scholarship offerings.
Of course.
Right. And then
So
what scholarship was the university in Poland offering you?
they were offering there's a full tuition.
Food.
Fully funded. There's a fully funded scholarship, and at the same time there's a tuition free. The tuition waiver.
And were there conditions?
So absolutely no condition.
Are you kidding me? So it's not like maybe you have to have first class in. Look, guys, if you are watching, I'm not chatting with an agent too. I'm not chatting with a consultant. I'm chatting with a friend, young Billy, who by himself self-migrated by listening to the guidance that we had the privilege to provide, but more importantly, staying up late at night to work on his admission process by himself. So I am asking, so in case, because there are very many skeptics who come on live videos and be like, hey, what's going on here? Are they trying to sell us something? Are they trying to make us, connect with a consultant, with an agent? That's not the goal here. The goal is to be able to show you that any one of you can do the exact same thing that young Billy did. Look at you describing these schools as if you're an education consultant. University of Hull, University of Glasgow, Casadonia, University of this, University of that, because you spent time reviewing the requirements of all of these schools. You spent time
2 good years.
2 years
Yes.
reviewing all the requirements of all of these schools and deciding which ones exactly you are going to go on for. And you went on, and today you are in Poland, and we're super excited to be sharing this moment with you, where you can come back and share this information with other people. So where we stopped was that you said there were tuition waiver, there was scholarship, and none of these two things had any condition about academic background or any form of requirement like your previous academic performance or anything like that. So what exactly was it? Was it just a statement of purpose? Was it just an accept? I mean, is Poland are Polish people that nice? Like, is Poland such a welcoming country like that they just want many more people in Europe to come to Europe from developing countries to come and take advantage,
Yes. I would rather say these people are being generous, but they are being generous to everyone who is inspired to take up the challenge.
That's right. Inspired to take up the challenge.
Yes. There were no conditions attached, but you have to show them the reason why you should get a scholarship.
Got it.
So the thing is this: if you know you graduated with a 2-2, third class, HND second class lower, please don't listen to people out there that says no scholarships for you. It's absolutely a myth.
Look at that. So somebody messaged me yesterday. He said, I have HND. Does it mean that I can't go to any school in Europe? I said, is it that you believe that there is nobody who has gone abroad for education, for further studies, that had an HND? Are you saying that there is no HND person? Is that what you're telling me? I sent this question back to him, literally, because it didn't make any sense to me. You finished from a polytechnic as an higher national diploma holder, and you're saying that, maybe because some naysayer has told you before, or because you found it somewhere, you're saying that, is it possible? Of course it is possible. So don't let anybody
It's possible.
tell you. These countries are generous, and they're looking for people like you.
We hardly do our due diligence. That's the problem. You just listen to people, and the next thing is you keep sharing what they told you. It doesn't work like that. You have to do your due diligence. I mean, look, ask yourself, what do you really want?
That's right.
And take notes and work towards it.
That's
it. That's actually what my statement of purpose actually did the magic anyways. Because I made mention of some points, and my statement of purpose was in line with what I said at the interview at the embassy. So, like the other guy who says they don't give, you must have said something that contradicts what you submitted earlier. Some agents package their this thing and they are good now.
On SOJF them to register online, they apply.
And you think these people are idiots? They check everything. They check everything you submitted, and they ask you based on what you submit. So, like me, I am an agriculture person into the agribusiness, agri-food, and it was forecasted in 2019 that by the year 2025, there's going to be a malnutrition forecasted in sub-Saharan Africa. So I key into that. How will I solve the threat of malnutrition that has been forecasted in sub-Saharan Africa? And that was my project.
So you used existing data points. Where somebody wants to study, he wants to go and do masters, and somebody said on Twitter, and people were really harassing him that, why would you say that? That if you can't write your statement of purpose, you are not supposed to go on to do a master's degree, because basically your statement of purpose is just articulating And this is not to say that people cannot seek help for somebody to help them proofread, but just the basic articulation of what you want to do with your life that is making you requiring a master's degree should actually be able to let you know that you must know how to write your statement of purpose. Because you at least look at that now. So you use the data of what will happen, what has been forecasted that will happen in sub-Saharan Africa around malnutrition. And then nobody will read that kind of statement of purpose and not feel that, oh, I shouldn't deter this person, this person of the opportunity. Because if I give this person the opportunity, what I'm actually doing is that I'm helping them to take on, this problem head on. And they will be a special graduate from this university if I give them that opportunity. So that totally makes sense. So an alignment between what you really want to do, the statement of purpose that's been written down, and what you went on to tell them at the embassy at the end of the day. Very, very important. What's the name of your school?
It is the Poznan University of Life Sciences.
The Poznan University of Life Sciences. Because the next thing some people will ask me now is, what schools in Poland can people apply to? And I don't know if in your case you applied to multiple schools in Poland before you decided this one, or when you were doing admissions, this was the only school in Poland that you decided to apply to. So Poznan School, the Poznan School of Life Sciences.
University of Life Sciences.
The Poznan University of Life Sciences has a lot of tuition waiver programs, scholarship programs for anyone who wants to take advantage of this now. And if you do so, you can begin to get ready for next year's admission cycle. How many admission cycles do they have in a year? Do you know that?
2.
When and when?
March and October.
March and October. So in March and in October, you have the opportunity to move to Europe. When you move to Poland, you are in the European Union. I believe Poland is part of the European Union, right?
Of course, yes.
So Poland is part of the European Union. You have access and ability to move across the whole of Europe via train, via flight, whatever, because you are a European student. Now, that's not I always tell people, you can now go on to apply for a US visa. That one they've been denying you. You can now go and apply for a US visa, and now you will do your interview in an embassy in Poland as a Polish student who is in the European Union. So you will most likely get your visiting visa to the US. In the course of your study, make a visit to the US. Young Billy, you have to be planning to come to Dallas. Come and say hello to us.
In fact, there are lots of interns that you can take up. I actually applied for one 2 days back.
In the United States?
Yes, Rio Bonito in Houston, Texas.
Awesome. That's it. So we'll see you in a couple. So basically, you can begin to apply for internships as a student that is studying in Poznan University of Life Sciences or any school whatsoever that you have found in Poland that is offering your course of study. And when you come to the US, you go back to your school. You don't stay here. You go finish your program, and now you have a visa that you can renew for you to then come to the US. And if you start an internship, like, young Billy has just said, if you start an internship, you will most likely be able to come back to that company when you are done. If you do well in that company will sponsor your OPT, and that's how you find yourself in the United States, or they sponsor your H-1B. And if you want to stay in the rest of Europe, you can identify opportunities in the United Kingdom for internship, and they can also sponsor your Tier 1 visa. So you cannot just imagine how this journey leads us. I always tell people something, young Billy, that the first country I went to was Ghana. And when they gave me the opportunity to go to Ghana, I thought it was too meager. I thought the opportunity was too small. I didn't realize that would be my gateway to Europe, to Germany, to France, to Sweden, to Denmark, to other places around the world that I've now gone to, including the United States. So some of you might not know much about Poland. You might not, first of all, at least the key things are very, very crucial. First, it's a European country. It might not be as rich a country.
The Schengen nation as well.
Schengen nation. It has all the basic amenities of life. It has good health care, good education, good electricity, good internet access, opportunities to intern with top companies. And what is Poland strong in as a country? What is that thing that is their unique selling proposition?
Manufacturing. They're into finance.
Manufacturing.
Yes, manufacturing and finance.
And finance. Look at that. So Poland is a member of Schengen State. It has a huge, center for finance. So what that means essentially is that a lot of Europeans banks, a lot of European financial institutions are going to have maybe headquarters there or have major offices there.
course.
That can be your pathway. People can't just plot these pathways in their minds. That can be your pathway to the whole of Europe. And you can be a big deal even in Poland. And that's really what this is about. Someone mentioned and said, what if you don't have the admission, application, funds for application fees? See, you have to have something. You can't see, you are not even ready. If you're already talking
And the
about,
funniest part is my school will not ask for application fee until you are given an admission. That's the beauty of it.
can you imagine? So you don't even, you see, so personal University of Life Sciences will not even ask you for the application fees up front. So it's when you are offered the admission, you pay the application fee amongst other fees, maybe acceptance fee and other things that you have to pay. You know, young Billy, we're going to do something. We're going to create a pathway. You know, if you check inside the Vesti app, and if you're watching us right now and you have not downloaded the Vesti app, head on to the App Store right now, the Apple App Store and also the Android App Store to download, you know, the Vesti app from the App Store and create an account. There's a feature we just released called Pathways. Pathways shows you the step-by-step guide to be able to get to any country. So think about it, like 15 steps to land in the University of Life Sciences, the Poznan University of Life Sciences, 15 steps to get there. So you basically select everything, including what it will cost for application fee, what it will cost for the tuition, what it will cost for every single thing. We lay it down there through that. And don't believe we got to do that together. Right now, we have for O1 extraordinary ability to the US, we have the F1 visa to the US, and we have the UK student visa pathway already in the app. So if you have not checked it out, go there, download the app and check Pathways, and you will see these 12 steps, the 15 steps, the 20 steps. For now, Pathways is still available to use for free. In the future, it will be based on subscriptions, so that those who made those pathways too can get royalties from it, all right? So
Of course.
definitely, so Young Billy, we definitely need to create a pathway for people end to end of this. So let's go to the financials. Let's get more into the finance from whatever you can remember, because I know I didn't tell you to create like maybe an Excel sheet to show us, but from an estimate of what you can remember, what does it cost somebody from the moment they get admission in the University of the Poznan University of Life Sciences and when they eventually arrive, including accommodation, as much as you can remember?
Well, that is subjective. Anyways, depends on your course, to be precise. But in all, like myself, I spent less than ₦1 million.
Wow. Wow.
So basically, I just spent less than $1 million. So if
You are busting my brain
of
right
course,
now, man.
of
You are
course,
busting my brain right now.
and the cost of living here is low, so definitely you will survive. Despite my scholarship, I still have some side hustles, and the beauty of it is you can work full time in
Whoa.
Poland as a student.
Whoa. No time limitation. Whoa.
No time limit. So that's the beauty of it.
That's crazy. So why would someone even look? Like, people really need to think about these things, particularly those who don't have funds. Why do you want to go to the United Kingdom and go and just, like, I do sessions on United Kingdom. So don't get it wrong, guys, if you are listening. I do a lot of stuff in United Kingdom. I have a lot of friends who have moved there. Many people in the university community have also moved there. So I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but if you can't afford it, particularly guys who are telling me, I can't afford it, less than 1 million, they literally
Yes,
just, oh my God.
absolutely.
So tell me, so how much did you pay for application fee eventually after you were offered the admission?
65 euros.
65 euros. 65 euros is about how much now? Let's do a quick calculation. Anybody here?
That
65?
is that is 65 times, let's say 600.
Yeah, 65 times 600
65 0,
times 600.
0, 0.
That is about 40,000. So 40,000
Yes.
naira for application fee, that which is only collected after you've been offered admission. Then was there any acceptance fee?
No, that's just the basic fee you pay,
So
and
next
then
step,
you pay that alongside with your tuition. But I was about paying my tuition before I received the golden mail that forget about it, your tuition has been covered by the European Social Fund.
and the tuition was supposed to be how much? Wait, before we even go on, the tuition was supposed to be how much?
3,800 euros.
For how many years?
Wow.
For 1 year. So first of all, let's even calculate if they did not send you the golden letter. that will have been 3,000 euros, again times 600, which is about 1.8 million naira. Listen, guys, 1.8 million, oh, you will be in Poland, you'll be in a European country, like balling, like my friend here, for real. Of course, there's academic burden, I know, there's academic loads, there's all of that, but at least you fulfill that long-lasting dream of just being in a place where everything works, where there's some sanity, where you can think about your future, where you can do better, for yourself. If we didn't come from families, that have been making all the money in Nigeria for years, at least we have a responsibility to do something for ourselves and for our families and for our future. And this offers you. So 1.8 million, don't lose me there, 1.8 million. And then you then got an email that said, don't worry, this fee has been paid by who again?
The European Social Fund.
The European Social Fund. Did you apply specifically to the European Social Fund?
It is basically the application comes with my course.
I see. So it's like the European Social Fund is sponsoring students who are admitted into that particular course, like the way maybe
Yes,
we are sponsoring our data scientists at the University of Washington.
yes. Just provide your thesis, and if it's what they like,
They
they
sponsor
take
it.
you up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go a little deeper. So how much did you pay for visa fees for you to go to the visa? By the way, is there a Polish embassy in Lagos?
No, it's in Abuja.
The Polish embassy in
It's
Abuja, my
definitely is
friends.
in Abuja.
So you
Yes.
either have to go through night bus or by flight. Which one did you choose?
Mm. I went during the day, considering the safety of
Security
my
issues.
I want to leave Nigeria in one piece.
In one
So
piece,
I
so you
had
did
to
not
go
go by
during the
night. So
day.
don't use night bus.
Mm-hmm.
That's another very important information
It's
from
advisable.
young Billy. So use the day bus if you cannot afford to fly. Because if you're still talking about application fees now, then I know that you might not be able to fly to Abuja. So go by bus and go to Abuja. Even though that's the last time young Billy will ever have to go by bus to Abuja. Because now, come on, your standard of living changes, your life changes, the value
Everything.
for your labor,
Absolutely.
the value for your labor changes, like what you are paid for.
Absolutely.
This, come on. So you go by
Absolutely.
bus to Abuja and then you go apply. So how much was the visa fees?
It was 80 euros.
80 euros. So that's another how much again? Let's calculate. 80.
That's around 40, less than 50,000 naira.
Another less than 50,000 naira. 80 euros is about 48,000 naira. So let's say 48,000 naira. Again, plus the 40,000 for application fee. That's about 88,000. 88,000 naira plus the 1.8 million school fees, which you might not eventually pay depending on the course you've chosen, and also the kind of thesis that you have put ahead. All right. So then, when the visa was ready, how did you collect it? Did you have to go back to Lagos then come back to Abuja?
No, absolutely. The one beauty about it, your visa can be collected by proxy. So I sent a friend of mine who went in to collect on my behalf. I gave you must write a letter,
Yes. Yes. Authorizing the person.
allowing the person to be, yes, authorizing the person to pick up your passport on your behalf. And that was how I did it.
Amazing.
Just straightforward. And at the interview, there's an interview.
Okay.
At the embassy. I want to quickly chip this in. Some couple of weeks back or months back, some Nigerians were actually complaining because the Polish embassy, the visa officers, they changed their mode of questioning. They started asking people to locate Poland on the map, on the world atlas.
On the world atlas.
Yes, and people failed. People fumbled.
God.
So mine is, why would you want to go to a country that you don't even know anything about?
The tiny due diligence you will do to be able to understand what part of Europe,
Tells you a lot.
to be able to know where it is on the map, to be able to,
this is when I realized, I appreciated why the United States Embassy always asked, what do you want to go and do in the United
Exactly.
States?
You know, the US asked somebody, an academic, one of the people that I worked with in the past, and they said, "What's the distance between your conference venue and the hotel that you are staying?" And she couldn't answer, and they denied her. It's as simple as that. Like, literally, if you are going for a conference and you'll be living somewhere, won't you at least know that it's a 15 minutes train, or it's a 15 minutes by Uber, or it's a 1 hour drive? At least you will have thought about it, because that will be the basis for selecting, the
Of
distance.
course.
They use things like that to be able to really check whether this person really wants to go here or they have other plans. Because when
Of
people have
course.
other,
You have to be flexible.
you might not even want to show up in the school. You might just want to land in Europe and be looking for a train to go to maybe Belgium or to Sweden or to France, where you have a
Of course.
relative and you plan to abandon your education. So that's a good point you just slipped in there. I mean, people should know every single thing about what they are going to do, be genuine about the journey, and chances are
Of
if they
course.
ask you a question, you will be able to answer. And if you are not able to answer, you'll be able to sincerely say why you can't answer. I mean, literally, in case they ask a
Of
question
course.
maybe completely out of place.
I don't see it as completely out of place. There's a lady they were asking about your modules. You are going in for this particular course. Can you give me three synopses from your course?
From your
And she
course.
was looking.
So these
I
are
mean,
all
you just
things.
have to be
You
flexible.
just have to be flexible. So you need to think about it, look through your modules, understand every. So this is why we say do it yourself. Yes, we have a product where we help people concierge service, we guide them through how to do it, but nothing beats doing it yourself. Because if you do it yourself, there's a chance that you will remember the modules. I mean, who even chooses a school and a country without looking at what they are going to take for each of the programs? Because that's where you understand whether it matches with your prerequisites. That's where you understand whether or not, like, you take a program and you're like, no, the mathematics in this program is too much. You saw the modules before you took it. You know what I mean?
Of course, I do.
Yeah. So this is very crucial. So back to our journey, because I don't want them to lose track. So you did that interview. The passport came out. How long did it take?
It absolutely takes 1 month, 30 days. Yes, I submitted on the 30th of August, and I got my decision on the 29th of September. September.
Look at that. 30th of August, 29th of September. So 29th of September, that made it 30 days. And when you got your decision, they sent the passport back to you in Lagos, right? Or you came to Abuja.
Yes.
They sent it
No,
back
a friend of mine picked it up and sent it via courier service.
courier service to you. And then what was the next step? Next step is to start packing your Ilubo,
Alright.
Gary, all of those things, and looking for flight dates, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I was actually basking in the euphoria of getting the visa, so I never packed my things on time. Lecture starts on the 1st of October, but my school, during because of the pandemic and everything, and considering the fact that people are coming across the globe, so they actually shifted um, full lectures into the 1st of November. So they were just doing the, you know, just meeting themselves and giving them how the course is going to go like and everything, the field trips and everything. And one more thing, the beauty of my course is there's field trips. There's field trip to France, field trip to Italy. There's going to be a field trip to Netherlands and one more country I can't remember for
So even
now.
even if you didn't
Can't
want
remember.
even if you didn't want to go out because you are not social or anything, you still have to go with your class on those academic trips, which you will write
Of
reports on.
course.
You write all of those things on. Is there any proof of fund requirement? Did you have any proof of fund requirement?
The beauty of Poland is you can come in with a sponsor that doesn't have anything to show, right, except your sponsor's payslip. Yes, the proof of funds comes in two ways. The first is you present a credit card certificate. It used to be a bank statement
Okay.
before now, but you know how we do our things, they have to change their ways as well. So you provide yourself with a credit card in your name, a credit card certificate indicating you have um, from the official website, it is 2 million naira.
Hmm.
But you have to consider the city you are going and your tuition.
Okay.
So By this, you have to, add some more to it to be able to, to understand the embassy will understand that you actually know what you are doing and you can take care of yourself. So you present your credit card certificate in your
credit
name.
card certificate, is it a bank that provides that? Because I don't know much about credit card issuing in Nigeria. So is it a bank that will provide that credit card certificate?
Yes.
So
The
the
financial
banks,
institutions will
so
provide that.
I see. So your own commercial bank can do that for you. So if they approach their commercial bank that they need a credit card certificate for, let's say 2 million
Yes, Naira cashback credit card.
Naira cashback credit card.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. So you have to fund that account for you to be able to do that.
Yes, you have to fund it yourself. And once you do that, they will give you a certificate indicating the amount on the credit card.
It's like,
And that's just the
like a
certificate.
prepaid card.
Of course, yes, with the Western world,
Yeah.
it's like a prepaid card that you have the funds in it and you prepare it with your supporting documents, apart from the visa form that you have filled online,
Yep.
then with your other primary documents and you submit. Or you present a credit card certificate in your sponsor's name
Okay.
with a sponsor's letter
Okay. And their payslip.
and and their employment certificate.
Okay.
So the other part is provide provide a sponsor's letter. You provide the sponsor provides you with payslip 3 months and employment certificate. That's just it.
So that payslip must still be a certain volume. Do I need somebody who is employed at an oil and gas company, or just maybe a friend or a family member that works in Paga or works in Credit Direct, or does it have to be someone who is very, very rich? What kind of payslip are we talking about here?
Let me use myself as an example.
Yeah, I was
Firstly,
asked it personally, so I didn't know whether you wanted to divulge that.
no, so that our people can understand this perfectly. That a friend of mine looked for a sponsor for me,
Mm.
and the sponsor was his boss at his office, and the sponsor is receiving 500,000 naira monthly, net pay. So it doesn't have to be, you have to start looking for somebody who is working at Shell or whatever.
Everyone, okay.
Although you have to consider your cost, you have to consider your tuition. If that sponsor can actually pay for your tuition and your living expense here.
Yes.
So actually, when it was my time, people were saying I have to look for sponsors any 700,000 naira and above and all that and this and that. I looked at myself. I don't have some sponsor that is collecting 700,000 in this Nigeria. This is my program. This is what I want to do. Then I prepared a detailed sponsor letter. That is key. A detailed sponsor letter. The sponsor letter has to state how the sponsor is going to help you live in Poland comfortably.
That's right.
And it has to be notarized. The letter has to be notarized. And you don't need to notarize the employment certificate and the payslip because it will come on the company's letterhead or wherever the sponsor is working.
Yep.
So definitely that will work. And with 500, and let me put this again. On my sponsor letter, I actually stated that this sponsor of mine is my brother's friend.
So you were not even like lying or anything?
Really? No.
Yeah, you gave it as it is.
Of course, because I said he's my brother's friend. They knew themselves right from childhood, and he saw the potential in me and says, "Oh no, let me help this guy."
Let me help this guy. Yeah.
And I'm sure they must have. What I did. I never submitted a fake document. Everything I submitted was genuine. So I'm sure they did their due diligence.
It's not like you did it behind the person. Person will say, "Yes, I know about this," even though you guys might have discussed about the fact that he doesn't need to pay a dime when you get to Poland. You can undo yourself. You know what I mean? But essentially, he is a genuine sponsor, a true sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I even went ahead to write a letter, to sign a letter of non-indebtedness to the sponsor, that I'm not even going to collect anything from him. Just prepare me with your sponsor letter. That's all.
That's it.
So everything went on genuine, and the embassy, I'm sure they went through my documents. Let me put this again. When I got to the embassy, you know, I brought out my documents because we were asked to arrange them accordingly. They gave us a list to arrange them. And when I got there, the first guy who saw my documents actually ran away.
Why?
Because he said I brought in a dictionary.
Because you were super ready for them.
Of course. I went through their website, supporting documents. I actually presented everything that could help me. From my place of work, I got a study approval. And my study approval says they are going to pay me half of my salary while I'm studying here. Pending my return to come and pay them back. They gave me all the documents, you know, the employment certificates, employment verification, what is the confirmation of employment. I had to submit everything.
Affiliated with them.
Of course. So if they call my company, they will understand that they will contact my HR, and my HR is aware that this guy is going on a study leave, and we are sponsoring him on the other hand, because I submitted my payslip as well.
Awesome.
And everything was intact. So there's no two way about it. You have to submit a genuine document.
Genuine document, gather as many supporting information and supporting documents as possible. Your own supporting documents may not be exact as, you know, Young Billy has said, but you can find your own documents. Make sure they are genuine. Make sure you are confident. Imagine if an SOJ prepared only one document that is fake out of this. It will be the basis for you being rejected. And then the person will say, oh, it's because they don't like me. You know?
Well, they needed you to present all what they required of you, and it will be issued the visa. There's no two way about it. It's super strict. And one thing that I love about Poland, if they deny you, they will tell you the reason why they are denying you, and they will give you 14 days to appeal. So you can always appeal that decision, and it can be reversed.
And even though you didn't have any circumstance like that, you're saying to anyone here, if you have been rejected because you presented some things that are not correct, you should actually consider appealing it and make sure your documentation is solid. It's solid. This has been a very, very, very insightful session. And you are only a couple of months into your program right now, but 1 year happens very quickly. So I look forward to learning more. Carry us along on your trip to France, Italy, and all of those other places that you are going to. Share pictures with us, share videos with us about what's going on, what you're learning. And of course, I see a lot of people would apply to the Poznan University of Life Sciences. And if you're not on our Telegram group, you can go into the University app, go to settings, you'll see join our community, and you can join there. Basically, the groups on the app as well allow you to ask any questions you want to ask about your admission. Young Billy is there. Every other person who has moved abroad as well, they are there. Our platform is a new bank, a bank of the future for migrants everywhere, all over the world, that continues to support people with financial services, regardless of the countries that they find themselves. And also, we help all our account holders with migration advice and a couple of other things that enable them to be financially sustainable and solid everywhere they go. Today's session has been with Young Billy. Go on and follow him on Instagram and learn more about how to move to Poland. He's not an agent. He's a beneficiary of our program. He's an agricultural scientist, a practitioner who is in Poland studying for more knowledge, for more opportunities, and who will be coming to visit us in Dallas sometime soon, within the coming year. So excellent time with you. I don't know if you have any final words for people on this live session today.
Of course, Poland doesn't have a central application system but there's one I will put across now for you to check for your courses, the prices, and the schools that offer them. Then you can go to individual universities and check for their requirements. Then it is very straightforward. You don't need any agent. Just listen. I mean, okay, there's an agent involved. You have to be on Vesti. Yes. If you are not on Vesti, you're on a long thing, please. You have to be on Vesti because all these things changed between just 9 months. Everything changed between 9 months. And to tell you this, I practically applied to almost all the countries in the EU before I chose Poland, and I got the admissions except one school in Lithuania, which is Klaipėda. I'm sure some of us know Klaipėda University in Klaipėda, in Lithuania. That is the only university I applied to in the Eurozone that actually denied me admission. But every other schools that I applied to actually gave me the admission. So I now sat down, checked my pocket, my budget, and the courses are being offered, and see the one that helped me the most. And I chose Poland. Poland is, we don't listen to anybody. Poland is sweet. Poland is super, super sweet. And I'm sure you enjoy your stay here. I am typing the website in a bit so that you can get that information and start your journey to Poland. I look forward to seeing many people, many faces getting transitioned into Poland come 2022.
If we see a lot of
So,
questions, that's been awesome, young Billy. If we see a lot of questions about Poland, we're definitely going to ask that. Maybe we set up a tiny little group for all those who are coming in 2022. Basically, it will be on the Vesti app. Now, groups are now on the Vesti app. You can now create groups. You can now see groups that exist. We're only allowing those who are creators and providers on our platforms to be able to create groups just to monitor the type of groups that are created initially. But we can definitely, if you send in a request, we can create a group for Poland, for Polish study, for many of you who are interested. And we definitely believe that more people will watch the replay of this live session. We have a lot to gain and put more questions. So, young Billy, over the next couple of days, there will still be more questions under the comments, for the repost of this particular Instagram live. But it's been wonderful. We've been trying to make this happen for several weeks, you and I, just making sure
of course, of course,
work fine.
of course.
I had to miss a webinar just to be here. I wanted to join the VC webinar. But no, it's you we should be thanking, actually. I'm saying that to the people watching us. You are our guests. So we are grateful that you're able to make our time. Do you know how many people have arrived in the UK, in the US, in Canada, who can't even oblige us a testimonial, let alone coming online to come and do a 1 hour session to give back? So it's not everybody that is interested in doing things like this. But yes, we've been privileged to have some people as well who have offered to say, okay, I want to show other people what I've gained and what I've learned. And I thank you that you're one of those people. So once again, thank you so much on behalf of myself and the entire Vesti community, which of course you're a part of as well. We want to say thank you for coming to the session today. And thanks Ms. Tosin Shokubi, who is our polyglot extraordinaire, who basically has been guiding thousands of people in the Vesti community on how to succeed with the French language and several other languages. Go follow Tosin Shokubi as well and check out what she's doing out there. She has a group that she manages on the Vesti app as well. And I thank all of you for coming online today. I wish you guys the best in your endeavor. And I want to hear that there's a bigger community out there in Poland as we all continue to go global. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.